listeners to the BizBlend podcast, where strategy meets soul and we decode what really drives sustainable success. Now, listeners, today's guest is Luke Jean Louis. He's a multi hyphenate powerhouse. He's author, life coach, speaker, singer, voice actor, and also host of the Deep Voice Man show. Now, born and raised in Manhattan, Luke brings not only a rich baritone, but also he brings a deep well of wisdom to the world of personal development. Now, in this episode of This Blend, we'll be exploring his signature concept, the three P's, how they are the three keys to success. We'll explore in deep and also we'll try to understand how we can apply all those three P's in our daily lives and in our work and within our personal lives as well. Luke, welcome to the show, and I'm really honored to have you with us.
Well, I'm very honored to have you as a host to interview me and to have me on as a guest. Thank you so much for the invitation. No, it's greatly appreciated, and I'm excited to be here to talk about these topics.
Wonderful, Luke. Thank you so much for your kind words. And with that, um, so purpose, persistence, and patience. So you say that they are the foundation of any success story. So how exactly do you define each one?
Sure. I think there might be a little bit of a misunderstanding. The three P's actually are actually people, productivity, and personality. But I
Oh,
actually love the ones you did mention: persistence, purpose, and the other one. They're also very key too. So we can add them and make them six P's rather.
yeah, please.
No worries. The first P is very important. I think it's actually one of the probably the most important of the three of the P's. Is people, and it's your circle, your crowd, who you surround yourself with, and it's so important. And I'm not the first person in the personal development world to talk about that. That community, that circle, that the people you surround yourself with. I think Jim Rohn said you're the combination of the three, four, or five people you hang out with the most. And it's sort of like in real estate, a house derives its value from the surrounding units, houses, and how much and the price that they all sold for. So it's so important. It's similar to language learning. When if you want to learn a language, if you go to a country and you immerse yourself uh, in that language where the people speak it ubiquitously everywhere, you learn that language pretty fast. And so when you surround yourselves with the right people, it's like a force multiplier, so to speak. And it adds jet fuel to your goal attainment. And so you always want to surround yourselves with folks who are go-getters just like yourself. You guys can learn from each other, celebrate with each other, challenge each other, hold each other accountable. But also, when you surround yourself with folks who are mentors, who are coaches, who also hold you accountable, but guide you, show you the way. So very important. So I can go on and on and on about the first P. I think I've said enough. The second P is productivity, essentially doing the work, overcoming procrastination, being productive, being consistent. I teach folks the rule of five, which I learned from Jack Canfield. Essentially, every day you do five things to move yourself towards your goals. They don't have to be five things every day, but they could be at least essentially a few things every day. And the third P is the third P would be personality. So personality is when you learn when you develop personality traits of a winner. That would be patience, courage, confidence, assertiveness, gratitude. It goes on and on and on. Some of these traits come naturally to many, and due to genetics and upbringing, but we all can get better at them. So those are essentially the three P's. I developed the three P's from all the personal development literature that I've devoured and consumed over the years. I've spent endless amounts of money and time on blogs, on YouTube videos, coaching to figure this out, to cut to the discover the secret, so to speak.
That's really, really commendable. And Luke, yeah, to summarize for all the listeners as well, so it's people, productivity, and personality. Um, so
Yes.
I also want to ask you one thing. I mean, um, uh, I mean, how exactly do you apply all the three of them together in your daily life? I mean, were these constant throughout the years, or at some point of time, you kind of had a different, you know, process or approach towards applying all the three of this in your, professional as well as personal life?
Sure. So, as far as the plan or the process, quite simple. Obviously, for the first people, you this can be done online. Well, it should be done both online and offline, obviously. And there's so many Facebook groups, so many online communities that you can join, be a part of, where you guys can learn from each other, motivate each other, hold each other accountable, etc. And, on another podcast I was on, I talked about TypeShare, which is a online writing community where we are encouraged to produce content every day. We have a calendar, the uh,
Oh,
where it basically notates the streak, the ongoing streak of putting out daily material. We have a leaderboard where everyone has points, and so to speak. We encourage each other. We praise each other's work. We exchange ideas, and because of TypeShare and how TypeShare works, I was able to produce my first personal development book, which
wow.
contains many of my ideas. Yeah, including the three Ps. It's actually called the life lessons from the deep voice man. And very proud of this book. It's a collection of all my atomic essays. Atomic essays are roughly around 250 to 300 words that you are encouraged to write every day on TypeShare and then put out on social media. And I couldn't have done it without that online community. They were very helpful. They cheered me on every step of the way. They told me that my writing help them think, and I learned so much from TypeShare with the lessons they provide. Well,
That is so, so inspiring, Luke. So inspiring. And this kind of reminds me of Duolingo. That,
yeah,
you're reminding daily of how to, that okay, you have committed to this and you have to achieve this streak. You are so and so on this position of leaderboard. So it kind of, just like, your mother, uh, it reprimands you if you're not, learning your language today. So that's really, really inspiring. Thank you for sharing, Luke. And also, yeah, I mean, of course, let's talk about personality and then I'll come to productivity. I mean, how has your natural voice, and your willingness to lean into it, how has it shaped the way people connect with you and your message? Uh, I mean, do you think like it has been really beneficial for your unique voice out there to share your thoughts in a much better way? More into the personality aspect. So, about your natural voice. So, how has your natural voice and your willingness to lean into it? shaped the way people connect with you and your message?
Sure, it's a funny story. So all throughout my life, I've received so many compliments on my voice. It wasn't until I was working at a customer service role, and I was sitting next to a colleague of mine. And he said, "You know, Luke, you should really do something with your voice. If you have this gift, you should do something with it." And so that kind of gave me the rocket fuel I needed to sort of do something with my voice. And so I started a podcast called the Deep Voice Man Show, and it's done very well. And people have listened to it on 6 continents, on over 110 countries, all 50 states. And so I'm very proud of the work we've done with the Deep Voice Man Show. Obviously, I've expanded into obviously writing a book, coaching, paid speaking, and whatnot. So I trademarked the words "deep voice man," and so it's going to be sort of my uh, you my personal brand, so to speak, and so so it's so critical and so important that people create a personal brand. It's the best way, in my opinion, to develop a side hustle, to build an audience. You know, if you have 50 fans who love you and they each pay you $1,000, that's $50,000, so it adds up pretty quickly. Yes.
That is really, really creative. And because on BizBlend, I often have so many conversations around personal branding. Uh, people associate it with their names or the unique skill they have or the problem they're solving for their clients or customers around. But few people tie it back to personality alignment, a particular trait or gift they have been given. So that's really, really interesting, really insightful, because I guess this gives another dimension to personal branding. So
Yes.
talking about productivity, Luke, I mean, uh, you wear so many hats. uh, so, do you have any non negotiables or any systems or habits that help you stay productive, without um, burning out or like getting frustrated that I'm not able to handle so many things at one single time? I mean, how do you do that?
Sure. So I start the day off right. Obviously, I drink my cup of coffee. I have my laptop open and I sort of get to work. What I do is I have a list that keeps me organized of things I'm supposed to be handling, which also includes Duolingo, by the way, which I do at least one a day. So I have that list, and I have a calendar as well with alarms and whatnot. And so I go through that list, and I pick what's the highest priority things that have to be done today, what new things I'm going to start, what new things I'm going to continue. I'm always constantly acquiring and applying knowledge. So I have lots of books to read, lots of courses. So, it's like acquire the knowledge, then apply it, acquire the knowledge, then apply it. So I have that list keeps me organized because it lists out all the things I'm supposed to be doing, so I don't have to remember it. Same thing with the calendar and with the alarms on my phone. So it helps keep me on track. Obviously, you have to make time for fun and for rest, which I do, and but I use technology to my fullest, and that sort of is the key to managing your time, and that is my top suggestion.
Mhm. That can be really, uh, that is really, really interesting, because sometimes people will say that I cannot be so much structured and always be taking help of technology to make myself uh, stay aligned or follow the schedule. I prefer to be more towards the messy end of my schedule, because life is unpredictable. So why to follow always a schedule? Why to always keep on thinking about whether I'm productive or not today? But I completely agree with you. But Luke, do you think when, because when you are helping others discover and create their own personality, or maybe um, you know, helping them to become more productive, uh, and having a good network, do you get any kind of resistance in terms of having such a structured way of you know uh, spending the entire day?
Sure. So obviously, you always want to make time for both work and play. So very important. And for me, it comes naturally because I my personality type is analytical. So we like to be task oriented. We like to be very organized. We always have our clothes folded and so to speak. So it just comes naturally to me. And so that's so important. When people display resistance, the idea of being very structured, I tell them obviously, with discipline comes freedom, and something they just need to understand. And they can't be haphazard and confused. They have to know what they're trying to accomplish. Consistency breeds a sort of magic uh, in terms of getting results to take care of themselves. It's sort of like brushing your teeth. You know, we do this so habitually that great dental health is just assured. It works almost like we just do it without thinking. So I tell people it's similar to that. We just have to build on it.
That's a really good answer, Luke. Really good answer. Okay. So before we wrap up, a bit of a uh, you know different question. So if you had to remove one of these three, Luke, like people, productivity, or personality, which do you think would be the most dangerous to leave behind? If that is possible, why? If not, then also why?
Sure. So the most dangerous to remove, and again, it's the P I think is the most important, is people. That is the most dangerous to remove. The one that is, if I had to leave one out, I would say productivity, because I truly believe that if you have the people and then you have the personality that could keep you being productive. Because people is the most important P, because they can hold you accountable. They can inspire you to uh, essentially develop and strengthen the personality traits you need to strengthen. So people's the most important. If one has to be left out, it should be the productivity. Thank you.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I guess people definitely, not guess even. Absolutely agree that people is something that you cannot leave behind. That is so, so important. Okay, great. So, Luke, before we wrap up, if our listeners would like to connect with you, and also they would also like to check out your podcast, what is the best way?
The best way for them to check out my podcasts and whatnot is obviously they can go to Spotify. The name of my show is the Deep Voice Man Show, and as far as reaching out to me, you can go to my website, the Deep voicecoach.com. Again, that's the deepvoicecoach.com. I offer free short 5-day email course on entitled "The Everyday Man's Guide to Unlimited Success." Definitely go ahead and grab that. So again, that's at the deepvoicecoach.com. And obviously, that's where you can check out my site and see other resources if you wish. Again, being on this show has been an absolute blast. And thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Luke. And we'll have all the details mentioned in the show notes. And Luke, thank you so, so much for helping us to explore the three P's today: people, productivity, and personality. And Thank you so much for, teaching us the value of all these P's, three P's.
You got it. Thank you so much for having me on as a guest. I would love to return, and and, and please keep in touch. I'd even love to have you as a guest on my show. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much, Luke. That is really generous. And to all the listeners out there, you know what? All these three P's, they're not just buzzwords, listeners. They're building blocks. So whether it's showing up with the right people or making the most of your time or boldly expressing your voice, you Luke has shown us that success doesn't come from doing more, but it definitely comes from doing what is aligned. So, if this conversation sparks something within you, be sure to connect with Luke. I'll have all the links in the show notes along with this episode. And until then, keep blending strategy with soul, and we'll see you next time on BizBlend. Thank you.